traffic. It has been a mess for hours. Traffic just backed up all the way into San Francisco on all of the surface streets as a result.
And in Portola Valley, a tree fell onto a van on Alpine Road and killed the driver. And nearly 200,000 PG&E customers in the Bay Area are without power right now. An Amtrak train derailed about a half-mile east of Port Costa. Nobody on board was hurt.
All ferry service was suspended this afternoon because conditions simply are not safe for crew or passengers. You could imagine what a mess it would be. Here's a look at the PG&E power map, as you can tell. Just still a number of power outages, close to 200,000 people at one point without power. The red dots on your screen indicate the most number of power outages, 5,000 plus. But as you can see, power is out all around the Bay Area.
And we are on streaming because Sandia has a lot of weather to cover tonight.
She does indeed. Sandia, you told us this was coming. Just as powerful as you told us it would be. I guess what everyone's wondering now is how much longer will it last?
Well, Dan and Alma, I wish I had good news for you to let you know that this is almost over. But unfortunately, the National Weather Service just extended urban and small stream flood advisories as we're continuing to see rain. And the winds are going to continue because this area of low pressure, according to the Weather Service, has stalled. So we take a look at live Doppler 7, and you will notice that this area of low pressure has really just been spinning off our coast. It rapidly deepened. As it rapidly deepened and intensified what we know as bombogenesis or cyclogenesis, Fujiwara effect was in effect. So it's similar to hurricanes where two centers of low pressure system come together, and as a result, we have been dealing with those very powerful and damaging winds. Right now, those wind gusts, Mount Diablo, 53 miles an hour, 40 in the Oakland Hills. Lower elevations, you will notice 48-mile-an-hour winds at Oakland Airport right now, still very gusty at SFO 44. SFO is reporting arrival delays.
We're not on the stream. Hang on.
Okay.
We're going to start over.
Now from ABC7, live breaking news.
That's just a sample of what today's strong storm has brought to the Bay Area, along with deadly consequences. Live Doppler 7 is tracking it all, and it looks like a hurricane. Good evening, I'm Alma Dates.
And I'm Dan Ashley. It feels like a hurricane in a lot of ways. These weather conditions are dangerous. That's the clear message coming from emergency folks all around the Bay Area. Stay home if you can. A big rig overturned on the lower deck of the Bay Bridge around 4:30. Just 2 eastbound lanes are open at the moment. 3 lanes are still blocked. Traffic is a huge mess all the way into San Francisco onto surface streets because of it.
All ferry service was suspended this afternoon because of conditions on the bay. This video shows why. Golden Gate Ferry is replacing most boats with buses. San Francisco Bay Ferry plans to resume service with 3 boats to Vallejo beginning now, as well as 1 boat to Richmond. It's trying to find a way to restore service to Oakland and Alameda, but so far, no announcement.
Can you imagine being on a ferry in that kind of weather? AC Transit canceled all eastbound Transbay buses because of the big rig that's blocking most lanes on the Bay Bridge. We talked about that. BART is running trains at slower speeds because of the weather. And Muni says routes across the city are experiencing delays.
In Portola Valley, a tree fell onto a van and killed the driver. Happened on Alpine Road, about a block from Interstate 280. CHP officials say it was a freak accident. The driver was in a work van heading home for the day when the tree fell around 1:30 this afternoon.
Nearly 200,000 PG&E customers in the Bay Area are without power right now. This map shows where it's the worst. The East Bay, Peninsula, and San Francisco are dealing with the biggest outages.
And again, this is just a sample of what we are seeing from this storm.
Yeah, all around the Bay Area there have been tremendous effects from this very powerful storm, and ABC7 News meteorologist Sandy Patel is tracking it for us. Sandy?
Yeah, Dan and Amma, it has been a fierce, powerful storm that is causing damage, and we're not out of it yet. The National Weather Service just extended urban and small stream flood advisories as flooding continues on roadways, streams, and creeks. And they also mentioned that the area of low pressure, unfortunately, has stalled over the region. So let's take a look at live Doppler 7. You will notice the winds have been coming out of the southeast, and we've been dealing with these all day long as those winds have been ramping up. This area of low pressure rapidly deepening what we call bombogenesis or cyclogenesis. And the Fujiwara effect took effect, which is two areas of low pressure systems similar to hurricanes merging together. And as a result, we have been dealing with those powerful winds. Right now, those wind gusts, 49 miles an hour on Mount Diablo, 48 Sweeney Ridge. At the lower elevations, we are still noticing those winds are gusty. At Oakland, 48 miles an hour, 36 in Hayward, SFO, 44 miles an hour. We have high wind warnings shaded in orange from the San Mateo coast to the Santa Cruz County area until 9 o'clock tonight. For the area shaded in yellow, which includes all of the rest of the Bay Area with the exception of parts of the North Bay, under a wind advisory. Strong wind gusts between 50 to 70 miles an hour will continue to cause issues. 8 o'clock tonight, you will notice over 40-mile-an-hour winds there in Half Moon Bay. It is gusty at the lower elevations as well, but strongest over the hills and along the coast. 11 p.m. tonight, we're talking 30 to 37-mile-an-hour winds, so the winds will finally begin to come down as that area of low pressure begins to weaken and move away from the Bay Area. Tomorrow morning, lighter winds. Tomorrow afternoon, just a little breezy along the coast, but nowhere near the intensity or the violent nature of the winds that we have experienced. From our San Mateo Bridge, you will notice it is still gusty. It is a dicey evening to be out on the roads. If you could avoid it, I would stay off the roads. Los Gatos peak wind gusts so far, 82 miles an hour. Oakland Airport, 74, which is hurricane force wind gusts. Rose Peak, 72. Palo Alto, 59-mile-an-hour winds. As we check out the view from live Doppler 7, you will also notice that the rain bands have been moving across this region. Rainfall so far, Santa Rosa over an inch, Oakland a half an inch, 5,800 San Francisco, San Jose 7/10 of an inch of rain. Right now on live Doppler 7, you will notice that the rainfall is around the Portola Valley, Stanford area on the peninsula, seeing some downpours from Oak Creek Drive heading into Menlo Park, Middlefield Road. So definitely still dealing with not only the windy weather, but the wet weather as well. From the Santa Cruz Mountains to the South Bay, around San Jose, Morgan Hill, Gilroy, we still have the light to moderate rain as we get you into street level radar in the South Bay here. Willow Glen, Parkmore Avenue, watch out. We're going to widen the picture here. Taking a look at the flood advisories. So these have been extended until 9 to 9:45 from San Francisco to the East Bay to the Santa Cruz Mountains. And with good reason, because we've already seen some flooding on roadways, small streams and creeks. The ground is so saturated it cannot hold water. The flood advisory, urban and small stream flood advisory, remains up for a short time longer for the North Bay. But my suspicion is that these are going to get extended a little bit longer as this level 3 strong storm on our exclusive ABC7 News storm impact scale continues to spin. We've seen numerous thunderstorms across the Central Valley, some around the Monterey Bay this afternoon. As we go hour by hour, you will notice the rainfall intensity continues at 10 o'clock across parts of the Santa Cruz Mountains, the South Bay, even into the North Bay, some light to moderate rain. Tomorrow morning, you're looking at wet weather between 5 and 7 a.m. Even though we lose the winds, the rain is still there. So I would give yourself extra time. Through tonight, I am keeping this as a strong level 3 until I see that low pressure system filling in, weakening, and moving out. Strong damaging winds will continue the next few hours. Trees down, power outages, downpours. Still the potential is there for thunderstorms. So we go and take a look at that live Doppler 7 again, and I do want to show you some other things that we are watching at this point. It's not just the rain and the wind, but I do want to bring to your attention what you need to do if you live on multiple levels. Stay on the lower level of your home with these strong damaging winds. Avoid windows and use caution if you have to drive. If you can stay off the roads, that would be ideal. Taking a look at the storm reports from across the region, definitely dozens of reports. 103 now to be exact. Everything from debris flows to even a report of a funnel cloud flooding, gusts. Flood advisories once again remain in effect. Now we're going to take a look at a live picture with the forecast headlines. Gusty winds and wet weather tonight, lighter winds tomorrow with showers. Temperatures will remain below average most of the week. Today's high temperature is a good 8 to 13 degrees below average for this time of year. By the way, SFO, the National Weather Service, says set an all-time record for March, with the sea level pressure there, 976.6 millibars. As we check out what the temperatures look like now, mostly 40s, 50s. It is a 3 on our exclusive storm impact scale. Once again, through tonight, I cannot emphasize this enough. Watch out for downed trees and power lines. As we head into the latter part of the night and into the morning, we are going to continue to see those showers. Rainfall totals from now through tomorrow night, you're looking at anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch in the northern part of our viewing area to over 2 inches in the Santa Cruz Mountains. That area of low pressure and the wraparound moisture will mean they will continue to see what is known as orographic lifting. Moisture getting lifted up against the mountains, and then they get the downpours. Ground's already saturated. Problems are going to continue. In the Sierra, winter weather advisory until 5 a.m. tomorrow, 1 to 2 feet possible with gusts to 45 miles an hour. Above 4,000 feet, they're still expecting several more inches of snow. So if you're looking ahead to your morning, plan accordingly. While it's not going to be windy, it's still going to be wet tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be in the 40s, scattered showers across the region. Tomorrow afternoon, it certainly looks like spottier showers, not quite as widespread. Temperatures will be in the 50s. And checking out the AccuWeather's 7-day forecast, it's a level 1 for tomorrow. We are looking at scattered showers to continue. Spotty showers are possible as we head into Thursday, and then the chill settles in the morning. Dry few days, which we critically need so that we don't continue to have these problems. Right now, between Monday evening and Tuesday, we have a level 1, but there are some indications that that storm impact scale may need to get bumped for early next week. So be aware as we do change and update things. Just wanted to let you know for Sonoma County, the National Weather Service has now just extended that urban and small stream flood advisory until 10:15 p.m. So the urban and small stream flood advisory for this area now updated as minor flooding in low-lying areas and poor drainage areas continuing. We are still dealing with, obviously, not just the rain, but the wind. And once again, a look at those winds. Very important to stay aware. Do not park under trees. If you can stay off the roads, best to do that. Gusts to 48 miles an hour right now in Oakland, 47 in Concord. So still very windy in those locations. And over our hilltops, we're still noticing those wind gusts. Mount Diablo, 47 miles an hour. Once again, until this area of low pressure really starts filling in and starts moving out of the picture, until it weakens and moves out of the picture, we're going to have to deal with those gusty winds. This storm has certainly left its mark. It is continuing to spin off our coastline, keeping the winds up and keeping the rain going. So stay off the roads, stay safe and dry. Everyone, this is very important, a serious situation with those winds and still some flooding problems with the rain.